Thank you, everyone, for joining. We will get started with our meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion carries. Can I get a motion to approve the September 18th Planning Commission minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? So next up, we have a public hearing for United Properties, preliminary and final plat for Taco Bell.
We'll get there for sure.
It's not looking good.
Is this your third one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have an HP and it works better than this.
Okay, let's hope it doesn't take that long to open now. You all are gonna see the way that I save things, and it's gonna stress you all out.
Kind of is already.
I know. Boof, bleak. Download. I know. I'm gonna try my computer one more time. It's gonna be fine. It worked for a second. Do we all remember that? Okay, it's downloading on this one now at least.
You don't have this memorized?
Parts of it, for sure. Krista, another option would be if anyone wants to do communications while we do this, if folks have any announcements or
So
things
we're
you want to
gonna-
mention.
Okay, jump down to number 6. Anyone have any updates or communication you want to provide?
Come on, somebody have something. I need
Yeah.
at least 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes.
December
Come on.
6th, we're gonna have the start of the ceremony for lighting the Christmas tree in Gazebo Park.
3 p.m.?
3 p.m. it will start, 6 o'clock we'll do the lighting, and we will have horse-drawn carriage rides from 4 to 6.
Any other updates, announcements, communication?
I think a good time was had by all at the open house, fire department open
Minus
house,
the boys.
but not by the Thomases.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Next year.
good turnout, lots of fun.
I plugged back into your computer. There we go. Okay,
Okay,
I'm not
talk-
gonna
talk
touch
really quick.
anything. Holy smokes. Did you already do the agenda and the minutes
Yeah?
Yes.
while I was switching computers?
Yep.
Okay.
We're on the public hearing where
Great.
Erin will present.
Excellent. Thank you all for your patience. That was a little crazy, but we're here. Okay. So like everything you've probably mentioned while I was switching computers, tonight we are reviewing Taco Bell and United Properties, who are in for preliminary plat and final plat. So a quick overview of how this meeting is going to go now. So I'm going to give a presentation. I'm going to ask the members of the development team to come up, share some information. You can have a discussion, ask questions to them too. We'll have the public hearing, and then we will have a discussion, and then we're looking for 2 motions to the city council tonight, 1 preliminary plat, 1 final plat. So some details, there's a lot of people involved with this one, not in a bad way, there's just 2 different groups. So United Properties is one that you'll hear throughout this process, they're in the building tonight. They are the property owner and they're the applicant for the platting. So what that means is that they own the property right now in Carver Commons that has not developed. They are the group that is marketing it, working through end users for the site. So what they're doing is that they're creating that lot that then can be developed as Taco Bell. So tonight the request is to create that lot, which is a United Properties request since they are the property owner. So Border Foods and Taco Bell is the other piece of this equation. So they're the developer that's proposed the lot. They're permitted use based on our zoning code, so it's zoned freeway commercial. We're not contemplating rezoning tonight. It is a permitted use. And then I want to speak a little bit to the design of the building since it changed. You probably have some questions about that. So the first version did meet the intent of the city code, but Border Foods, the Taco Bell team, took feedback from the Planning Commission and City Council and said, hey, I think we can address most of the things you're thinking about with an updated design that they're rolling out right now nationally. So there are a couple across the US. This would be the first in Minnesota. So I shared that article with you that Rochester and Lakeville are also contemplating this project. But based on timeline, should this project continue to move forward, we would be the first location in Minnesota with that design. So piece of information that might be important. So we understand that the way that a project looks is an important part of the discussion, is something that's it's important to think about, but it's not reviewable as part of this application since it meets the intent of the city code. So if they were coming in and it was a building material that did not, they'd be looking for a variation from the city code, which would require a review. So that would be an additional step, but in this case, both the previous and the current version, the building materials do meet the intent of the city code. So again, the Planning Commission request tonight is preliminary and final plat. We move through these concurrently fairly often, usually with commercial and industrial projects, since it's one building going on one site. We typically know the details pretty quickly in those 2, just to know how the site is going to lay out, what utilities look like, etc. So some additional details, the property is zoned freeway commercial. Again, Taco Bell is a permitted use. The city does not choose the business, but we just zone the property for the type of user, and a drive-through is also permitted here. Since we last met in September when you reviewed the concept plan, it feels like the United Properties Carver Commons changes all the time because there's so much construction happening there. But it's really starting to, you're able to picture what the site will look like at full build out. So the site is directly south of that slip right off Jonathan Carver Parkway, which is now installed. So slipping into that space, it will be a one-way. Once you get to the Taco Bell Les Schwab split, it becomes a 2-way street. So just some general layout things. We're directly north of Hometown Bank and Mocha Monkey, south of Les Schwab, which is currently under construction. So on the screen now, even Google Maps is pretty updated, which was nice. So you can start to see what that slip right looks like, along with other improvements that have been made by United Properties for development of this site. And then on the right, I superimposed the site plan into it so you can just get a feel of how it lays out adjacent to the Mocha Monkey Hometown Bank, enters into the full site there. So you can see the plan is consistent with that slip right where it's a one-way and then transitions near that property line into a 2-way street for the Les Schwab, Taco Bell, and then the adjacent outlot that will be created with this application. Commissioner Goodell had a question today about the site in general. How big are the other sites? What's left? What's going on with the rest of them? So everything in green are sites that have developed or are developing, and the blue are remaining sites or remaining outlots. So first was Quick Trip, which is just over 2 acres. Next Steps came next. Oh, that was cute. At 1.6 acres. Hometown Bank on roughly 1.4. Les Schwab jumped one site up to roughly 1.8, and then the Taco Bell site, as proposed in the preliminary plat and final plat, is 1.27 acres. The 3 remaining are 11.8 acres, 1.78 acres, and 1.05 acres. There is the large space in the northeast corner, which is ponding only, so there's nothing will develop on that corner site. It's a regional pond for Jonathan Carver Parkway and the site, so it's a lot of water moving into that space. But in general, those three sites continue to be marketed, developable, et cetera. So the feedback from the planning commission, which was also echoed by the city council, is that the previous version of the plan had several garage doors, and then being directly adjacent to Les Schwab, it felt like a little bit of an industrial stretch, because Les Schwab obviously has several garage doors. Adding them here too made it feel less commercial, more industrial. We had some comments about the steel that was used on kind of the Beacon Taco Bell side, and then the presence of purple on the building was feedback shared by the planning commission and city council. Again, I just want to let you know that this version did meet the city code, but we worked with the development team, and in good faith, they were able to present us a second option for development of the Kitchen X model. Oh dear, that was fast. Alrighty, so the updated version is on the screen now. So the picture on the left would be if you had Next Steps behind you. So Jonathan Carver Parkway is on the other side of the building. So the vestibule is on the far north corner there. And then on the right is the drive-through side. So Jonathan Carver Parkway would be directly behind you here, looking into the site, looking kind of diagonally towards Quick Trip, and then Taco Bell, and then Quick Trip directly behind it. The site plan looks pretty consistent. There are a couple changes. So it shows a 2,862 square foot building. There are 32 seats in the dining area. A trail was added as part of this plan, so it's along the west side. You can see where the crosswalks track across the entrances into the site, connects up to Les Schwab. So if you drop off your car to get some tires and you need a Crunchwrap or a coffee, you can take the crosswalk and trail system south to access into the remainder of the site. Queuing of those cars in the drive-thru is 9, so there's space for 9 vehicles in there, and then any overflows goes directly into the parking lot for Taco Bell, which is favorable instead of going into a street. And then just a reminder, not super specific to this project, but all streets in Carver Commons are private. So just a piece of this development that the streets are private in there. So here's the layout of the building. The arrow shows the drive-through, so and on the bottom is Jonathan Carver Parkway. North would be on the right side, so the vestibule is over on that side with the drive-through on the south. Something that the Planning Commission and City Council were really favorable to was the full trash enclosure, so that continues on this plan. That trash will be fully enclosed in the building on the far south side. I'm gonna save this one and give Zach a heads up that he's gonna come talk about it in a minute, but just a general layout of the interior of the building. And then something else that we often think about is the landscape plan. So there was some feedback at the city council thinking about moving through that drive-through and what headlights might do to residents on Spring Creek Drive across Jonathan Carver Parkway. The bottom picture where it's the screenshot of what Jonathan Carver Parkway looks like moving south, the Taco Bell site is significantly higher than the other side of the road. So yes, street lights will probably shine across the county road, but it's not likely to be impactful into windows, especially on like first floor or second floor. I think it will mostly hit roof lines. So anecdotal, we can't totally say what something is going to show, like how people are going to be impacted by it, but I don't think it's going to be an issue for people across Jonathan Carver Parkway. But in response, the landscape plan has been changed a little bit to include some grasses and then smaller trees that will obviously mature quicker, closer to the ground. So you can see that the two areas on both sides, the north and the south side of the site, have some increased landscaping in those areas that will be closer to the ground. So if there is any light that travels off the site, it will hopefully be a little bit blocked with some of that landscape material that will be installed. On the screen now is the preliminary plat. So you can see Lot 1, Block 1, which would be the creation of the Taco Bell, that 1.27 acres, and then Outlot A, which would be the remaining site, which could be used for future development by United Properties with an end user. And like the most boring looking document is always the final plat, because it just shows the two lots again. But Lot 1, Block 1 again, on the right side would be the Taco Bell. Outlot A would be remaining. So that's my staff presentation. Zach, do you mind coming up and sharing some info with us? Introducing yourself first though.
Perfect. Hello again, my name's Zach Zellickson with Marvin Development, Border Foods for Taco Bell. And yeah, Erin wanted me to talk a little bit more about the Kitchen X, and I don't know if you want to go back to those photos. We've been working, we're a franchisee of Taco Bell local in Minnesota. We've been working with Taco Bell corporate for the last couple of years with a few other select franchisees to bring this new brand across the nation. So right now there's approximately 10 that exist currently, and there's different variations of it. So we've been working on kind of getting this to a final set that would roll out for all franchisees. So I think Erin shared that we were doing Lakeville and Rochester to bring next year, and after talking with some of the comments and talking with ownership, we decided that way we can do one more, and we think that we'll do really great here. So some cool features of the building is it's double the amount of glass, so when you're inside for employees and for customers, there's a lot more light coming into the building. We rearranged everything on the inside. Bathrooms are farther away from the customer. You're able to look more into the kitchen, and if you kind of can visualize maybe more like a Chipotle in a way where food's gonna be a little more visible, we're redesigning the food lines where it it's cleaner and open, and you're able to see more. You can see in the drive-through window as you look at the photos, that's all windows of watching the employees make the food as you go through the drive-through lane, which is kind of new for just QSR in general. So super excited, talk about corporate, super excited, and we'll, see how it goes with these 3 builds for next year. So here for any questions on the design or layout.
Now?
Yeah.
Do we want to open the public hearing or
We
wait?
sure can do that, yeah.
Okay, so can I get a motion to open the public hearing?
A motion to open the public hearing.
Thank you. So at this time, we will take comments from the public. When you come forward, please begin by stating your name and address for the record. Once all public comments have been received, the public hearing will be closed, and no further comments on this item will be accepted during the meeting. So Sherry, did you want to start?
Do you want to introduce the public or have the public go first?
If there are members of
Sorry.
public, they can join us throughout the conversation, but
Okay.
we typically, instead of opening the public hearing, typically not hearing from folks and then closing so quickly, doing it this way allows it to be longer, so if someone
Got it.
Needs to
feels
think about it.
compelled or hears something during the discussion, they can join us.
So one question, in the materials that were provided, it provided a link to the new concept of the store, but it had like a cafe within the store.
Yes, this was
And I don't see that here.
So there was a little false news that was spreading around like wildfire. I had a lot of calls with the Star Tribune and Business Journal about a month ago. The Live Moss Cafe is a separate concept that it does exist. There's 2 of them in California that another Taco Bell franchisee has been working on. It's still in a beta test mode, I'll say, and it is not Kitchen X. So
Okay.
they're separate things, and the easiest way to describe it, if you think of like the McDonald's cafe, where you kind of see some of the coffee that's in McDonald's, it's kind of testing that concept of bringing different drinks and new products through Taco Bell. But this is still our same menu, Taco Bell, just new design and new feel for the customer and those kind of aspects. So no different coffees or things like that.
Okay. And then my next question is, over where the trash is stored, it looks like it should almost be a patio up there.
That sounds
So
like
can you like help just explain to me why it's like that? I mean, what's the intended use? That's just the design?
So it's simply, that's just the design, and again, this is born from Taco Bell corporate, and we're a franchisee, so we
Yeah.
have limited control on the choices of what we can make. But yeah, this is the design that was come up by Taco Bell corporate. Those bars around the roof line actually can light up at night
Oh.
as well. So it's more trying to look at more of a modern kind of approach to the building. So yes, it's the architectural design, brand design of Taco Bell.
And then Erin, can you articulate what the materials are that are being used? Is this wood, concrete that's painted black?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's hardy board on the bottom and then decorative metal on the top. So our city code allows for both of those things. In the freeway commercial district, you can't have flat metal, which I would say this is not. It's a decorative metal type that is permitted in the freeway commercial district. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah, it's a corrugated packed clad metal, aluminum metal.
Is it
like-
painted?
No,
Black?
so
It
it's
is
an
black.
architectural material that, yeah, so it is black, yeah, powder coated black aluminum.
So really, the building itself is one story. And that part we're seeing where it says Taco Bell is just kind of a facade, right?
Actually, no, it's a one-story building, but when you walk into that glass entrance, that is a full vaulted entrance that you walk into. So it is quite, when you walk in, and maybe Erin can go to the floor plan, you can see there on the upper right-hand screen, when you walk in, that'll be a full vaulted ceiling with the kiosks to have an entry, and then also that would be glass windows looking into the kitchen where you can see employees working. So we're really trying to recreate the QSR environment for the customer is what this concept is really testing. So same box, same size box, just completely reorganizing how it interacts with the customer. Yeah, we're excited about it. It's been working on it for a couple years now with Taco Bell Corporate.
So the ceilings are 16 feet high in the whole?
Nope,
Rough-
just in this
that-
entrance.
entrance? Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
And that's where you order your food?
You can order your food there or walk up to the counter and order it like a typical Taco Bell with a menu board. A lot of this digital forward is getting more and more popular. I think before COVID, we were around 4% digital orders, and we're 50% now. So 50% of our orders are going through a kiosk or a mobile phone.
Anything else, Sherry?
Not right now.
Okay, Jim?
Thank you.
I do have a couple questions. So our preliminary and final plat include the lot split? The lot split is not separate?
No.
Okay. And then the sidewalk, since you said the streets are private, I'm assuming the city is not adding the sidewalk, that's United Properties?
Correct.
Okay. Those are my only questions. Eric, anything for you?
Nothing.
That was easy. Anyone from the public have anything they would like to add? There's a lot of you. You're just here for the fun of it?
Everyone here is development team.
Okay, perfect. Can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. So we next would need a motion to approve Border Foods United Properties preliminary plat.
Motion to approve.
And I will second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion carries. And then we also need a motion to recommend approval of Border Foods United Properties final plat to the city council.
Motion to that. It's official, put it in the minutes.
And I will second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
New business.
You tell me if there is.
There isn't.
Okay.
Okay. And we already did communication? This is like the world's fastest meeting.
Yeah. Bye, Keith. Good luck.
That looks
Feel
like
better.
Well, should go
no
fast,
fun.
it's
He needs
fast
a
food.
scooter.
Yeah. Or like one of those knee push things.
No fun.
Taco Bell is slated to go to city council on December 1st. I'd say things are slowing down a little bit for this group. We're gonna start comp plan soon. Starting to think some ideas about that. Heavier lift this version will be the Parks Master Plan, so we'll talk about that probably a bunch this winter. So I would say it's going to be less development review this winter, more like nitty gritty planning information. So buckle up, it's gonna be fun.
Is
Will
that,
this December date hold?
I have one application that's teetering between December and January right now, just depending on where they wanna fall. So I'll let you know ASAP. I was emailing with him today, just saying, let us know, cause it's kinda close to the holiday week, so.
okay, no other new business communications, so we can adjourn. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Perfect. Meeting's adjourned.